When the lockdown happened in 2020, we were all concerned. The parents were afraid, the staff was afraid. We didn't know what to expect. We knew we wanted to keep our doors open. We knew we wanted to continue serving our clients and give them the therapy that they need, but we also knew we had to find a safe way to do it. My name is Nicole Daher, and I am founder of Success on the Spectrum.
I researched quite a few places, and I really appreciated all the accommodations that were being, or all the measures that were being taken at SOS. And so I felt comfortable with them coming here. I'm Ursula, and I'm the mother of a child on the spectrum.
In order to defeat this pandemic that we have right now, that we're all dealing with, it takes a great deal of science and common sense. And it would also require everyone to play the same role, play their part. My name is Emma, and I am the first franchisee of Success on the Spectrum.
As we learned more about coronavirus, the franchisees and I sat down and came up with a plan that would allow us to safely offer services to the kids in our clinic. And we wanted to go above and beyond the CDC guidelines. These are children. It's our job to protect them.
As a mom of a son who has autism, I do feel safe here. The reason why is because whenever we come in, our temperatures are being taken, and the staff are required to wear the face masks throughout the day and working with my child. And so it gives me the extra assurance that safety precautions are being taken. My name is Keisha, and I'm a board certified behavior analyst for Success on the Spectrum.
Absolutely, it's safe to bring the children to Success on the Spectrum because we have well-trained staff who sanitize the centers at all the time. So we do check the temperature upon arrival, and we always ask if there is symptoms for flu-like or cold-like symptoms. If there is any, we will send them back. My name is Jaylene. I am new franchisee with SOS.
Other than the typical, having Clorox wipes, disinfectant wipes everywhere, hand sanitizers, Lysols, other than those things, I know behavioral-wise, we have to adjust our behaviors to meet this moment. That means we all know we cannot party the way we party. We have to clean up after ourselves. And so these are the expectations that we place on our employees.
We brainstormed, and together we implemented a set of protocols that we felt would keep the kids safe. And it was not easy. At the time, it was impossible to find hand sanitizer, gloves, masks. It was difficult. We were lucky that we're a franchise, we're a big organization, and we have these large accounts that enabled us to order all of the sanitizing and cleaning supplies that we needed. But that's not where it stopped. We hired extra people to do nothing but sanitize all day long. Throughout the entire clinic, we changed every light switch to motion sensors so we wouldn't have to touch any of them. We kept doors open so we wouldn't touch door handles. We kept the kids in separate hallways, assigned them bathrooms so there was not cross-contamination. We tried very hard to keep our staff safe, to keep the children safe, and to make our parents comfortable knowing that their children were here with us. For some kids, we kept them in home, and for others, we did our best to keep them safe.
Success on the Spectrum has been awesome with the way they have prepared for COVID. I'm a mother who has a child on the autism spectrum, and she attends SOS, Success on the Spectrum.
I have been lucky to have an amazing team that understands science, and they respect the rules on how to keep our clients safe and how to keep ourselves safe. They've been implementing all the measures that we have required them to implement. And so far, we've been lucky.
My oldest son, who is on the spectrum, also has OCD. So he is very aware of if I tell him, that he has to do something to keep clean, he's going to be very aware of people not taking the proper measures that need to be taken.
What I want to say is this. Even the schools cannot guarantee that my son cannot catch COVID. And they never make that promise. All they can promise you is that they will follow the guidelines that are in place. And I can promise that parent that we will follow it to the T. Those are things we can control.
As a mother of a child with autism, I knew the risks of discontinuing therapy, and it was concerning that my clients would have regression. I was heartbroken to think that the kids that we had been serving would lose all the gains that we had achieved so far. I did not want COVID to win. I didn't want the pandemic to beat us down. We were going to do everything that we could to make it as safe as possible for them to continue the therapy that they need.
The biggest problem with kids with autism is without support, they regress. They lose their social skills, they lose their skills to learn things, they lose the skills to actually develop and do better and newer things. My name is Bhuvnesh and I have 2 children on the spectrum. They are identical twins.
The benefit of Anaya being back in the clinic is she gets to be around her peers. Staying in home all the time, especially being on lockdown, she got kind of restless. So it gives her a break from being at home where she gets to come and be with her peers, be with the therapist. That's the benefit that I see from it.
There's a possibility that the child will regress over a period of time if the child is not receiving clinical assistance. And so, it's a big fear as an employee, and as a parent, it's a fear as well, because we don't want those skills to decrease over time. So it's really important to maintain as many skills as possible.
I cannot blame any parent for choosing to keep their child home and protect them instead of bringing them to therapy. I cannot imagine how difficult this decision is. All any parent wants is to keep their child safe. I can't disagree with that.
And only primary reason, if they can be held safely, ABA is the one mechanism by which they could continue to progress over the year where everybody else might be regressing.
If your child has mild autism, your mild symptoms of autism, they might survive being at home for 3-4 months without regression. But there are some kids that are severely on the spectrum that cannot survive 3-4 months at home without any structure, without any activity, without any social interaction, or even just being at home. So that parent that has that severe child on the spectrum, would I try to convince them and say, hey, come to therapy, this is the place for you. We cannot guarantee you 100% that your child will not catch COVID. What we can guarantee is the chances of them catching it at this center is low compared to you taking them to the public school, and much more better than you keeping them at home, because guess what? They could still catch COVID at home.
For my son, the benefits of receiving ABA services outweighs the risk of COVID, and that's why I bring him here, because I believe it's safe.
We know that once this child is here, we have to do everything we can to protect that child. And that's giving focus to safety. Whereas at home, the child is still not getting therapy and still being exposed.
I am so proud of my company. I am so proud of my staff. I am so pleased with my franchisees that we made all this effort for the kids. I feel like everyone went above and beyond, and we were successful. And that in turn is going to benefit these kids.
I was not comfortable with them going back to school. So it was imperative that I found a location that I could trust and that I felt safe with, and that most importantly, that my children felt safe in. And SOS provided all of that for me.